day, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Get ready to have your mind blown because today we're diving deep into the hidden corners of history. We're talking about the stuff they definitely didn't teach you in school. These are the shocking, bizarre, and downright unbelievable facts that have been swept under the rug for centuries. So, buckle up, because we're about to uncover 10 shocking facts that history doesn't want you to know. Let's start with a real head-scratcher. Fact number 1. In ancient Rome, a popular and pricey cosmetic was made from gladiator sweat. Yep, you heard that right. After a grueling fight in the Colosseum, attendants would scrape the sweat and dirt off the victorious gladiators. This mixture was then sold in tiny souvenir pots to wealthy Roman women who believed it was a powerful aphrodisiac and skin cream. They would rub it on their faces, hoping to capture some of the gladiators' strength and virility. Imagine paying a fortune for a jar of someone else's sweat. It just goes to show you that beauty standards have always been a little weird. Moving on to fact number 2, let's talk about a pope who put a corpse on trial. In the year 897, Pope Stephen VI was so furious with his predecessor, Pope Formosus, that he had his 9-month-old corpse dug up, dressed in papal robes, and propped up on a throne to face trial. This macabre event is known as the Cadaver Synod. A deacon was appointed to speak for the dead pope as Stephen VI screamed accusations of perjury and heresy at the corpse. Unsurprisingly, the deceased Formosus was found guilty. As punishment, the 3 fingers he used for blessings were cut off, his papal vestments were stripped, and his body was thrown into the Tiber River. Talk about holding a grudge. For our third shocking fact, let's head to 19th century England. Did you know that before alarm clocks were common, there was a profession called a knocker-up? These human alarm clocks would walk the streets of industrial towns every morning, tapping on clients' windows with long sticks to wake them up for work. Some even used pea shooters to fire dried peas at the windows. The big question is, who woke up the knocker-up? Well, they were often shift workers or simply people who didn't need much sleep. It was a reliable, albeit strange, way to make sure the factories started on time. Next up, fact number 4 takes us to the battlefield. During World War I, the British Army had a top-secret unit called the Special Section, whose job was to create fake trees. These weren't just any old props. They were hollow, armored observation posts disguised as dead trees. An artist would sneak out into no man's land at night, sketch a real bombed-out tree, and then a perfect replica would be built back at the base. The real tree would then be chopped down in the dead of night and replaced with the fake one with a soldier hidden inside. From this camouflaged vantage point, they could spy on enemy lines without being detected. It was a deadly game of hide-and-seek. Ready for number 5? Let's talk about ketchup. Today, it's America's favorite condiment, made primarily from tomatoes. But originally, ketchup had no tomatoes at all. The earliest version, from 17th century China, was a fermented fish sauce called ketchup. British traders brought it back to Europe, where chefs started experimenting with ingredients like mushrooms, walnuts, and oysters. It wasn't until the early 1800s in America that tomatoes were finally added to the recipe, creating the sweet and tangy sauce we know and love today. So next time you put ketchup on your fries, remember its fishy origins. Our 6th unbelievable fact concerns one of history's greatest minds, Albert Einstein. He was once offered the presidency of Israel. In 1952, after the death of Israel's first president, the prime minister extended the offer to Einstein, who was living in America. He praised Einstein as the greatest Jew alive. Einstein, however, politely declined. He wrote in his refusal letter that he lacked the natural aptitude and the experience to deal properly with people and felt he was too old to start a new career. He preferred to stick with science. Imagine a world where Professor Einstein was President Einstein. Let's hop over to ancient Egypt for fact number 7. We all know about the pyramids and mummification, but did you know that servants were sometimes sacrificed to be buried with their pharaohs? This practice, known as retainer sacrifice, was most common during the First Dynasty. The belief was that these servants would continue to serve their ruler in the afterlife. Archaeologists have found hundreds of subsidiary graves surrounding the tombs of early pharaohs, containing the bodies of courtiers, guards, and even animals. Thankfully, this brutal practice was later replaced with burying small figurines called shawadas to do the work instead. Fact number 8 is a bit of a party foul. In the 17th century, it was fashionable for wealthy Europeans to host unwrapping parties. What were they unwrapping? Ancient Egyptian mummies. These events were a morbid form of entertainment. A host would purchase a mummy, invite guests over, and a surgeon or professor would theatrically unwrap the linen bandages layer by layer, revealing the preserved body inside. It was considered both educational and thrilling. Even worse, powdered mummy remains were also used as a form of medicine, believed to cure everything from headaches to plagues. It's a gruesome reminder of how differently past societies viewed history and the human body. For our 9th fact, let's talk about a war that lasted only 38 minutes. Yes, you read that correctly. The Anglo-Zanzibar War of 1896 holds the record for the shortest war in history. The conflict erupted after the pro-British Sultan of Zanzibar died and his cousin seized power without British approval. The British Royal Navy issued an ultimatum: stand down or face the consequences. The new Sultan refused. At 9:02 a.m., British warships opened fire on the Sultan's palace. By 9:40 a.m., the palace was destroyed, the Sultan had fled, and the war was over. A swift and decisive, if incredibly brief, conflict. And finally, our 10th shocking fact that history tried to hide. Before she became a celebrated chef and TV personality, Julia Child was a spy. During World War II, she worked for the Office of Strategic Services, a precursor to the CIA. She wasn't a field agent sneaking behind enemy lines, but her work was crucial. She started as a typist, but quickly moved up, helping to develop a shark repellent. Why? To coat underwater explosives so that curious sharks wouldn't accidentally detonate them. Her top secret work took her 2 posts in Sri Lanka and China. It's an incredible, hidden chapter in the life of the woman who taught America how to cook French food. So there you have it, 10 absolutely mind-bending facts that you probably never heard in a classroom. From gladiator sweat cosmetics to a spy chef, history is so much stranger and more fascinating than we're often led to believe. It just goes to show that there are always new stories to uncover and new perspectives to explore. The past is a living, breathing thing full of secrets waiting to be found. Which of these facts shocked you the most? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. And if you enjoyed this journey into the weird side of history, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the unknown. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.